We now give the floor to one of our speakers who took time and went through the book and who also knows the author decades back. I'm talking here about a household name in our community, both in the diaspora and back home. I'm talking here about someone who is a professor and like a mentor to me personally. Of course, a mentor to many other people who are here. I'm talking here about no one else but Professor Tata Mentan. He is a professor of political science. I don't want to take much time introducing him, but I will end by saying that he's the author of more than 20 books in political science and communication. Prof, you have the floor.
We should thank you, Mr. Moderator, for that flattering introduction. Amazing ladies and gentlemen, you are warmly welcome to this opportunity. I'll start by saying that I'm going to make a modest order of 5 copies of Escape from Prison to send to my people back home in Cameroon. And let me start right away by acknowledging that the poetic dynamic or epic proportions in Mary Ngu's Escape from Prison demonstrate what incarceration and trauma constitute. You may ask, from the point of view of a political scientist, what is poetry? What is great poetry? The poems in Escape from Freedom answer these questions. Great ladies and gentlemen, the most difficult exercise in the study of poetry is the process of evaluating a poem. We can describe its theme and note how stylistic techniques are vital to the communication of the ideas and emotions which it embodies. But is it a great poem, good, bad, or indifferent? I will attempt to give answers to these questions. The main reason for the difficulty in evaluating poetry, especially throughout political scientists, is that through the centuries, contradictory expectations of poets and their art have been formulated, often with absolute certainty. In practice, this has meant that while the works of writers of a particular age have been highly regarded, another age, usually the immediately succeeding one, rejects them, both for their subject matter and their style. I wish to draw your attention to an outstanding aspect of Mary Ngu's Escape from Prison: the use of graphics. This is a novel contribution. The graphics are, as you will find in the book, guilty, dealing with confinement, sitting on the fence, life in jail, pining for a special guest, building resilience, hindsight and foresight, and a dream come true. Mary uses these captivating usual graphic elements to change or enhance the meaning of her poems. Indeed, the attention-grabbing graphics depict the trajectory of loss of freedom, panic in handcuffs, nightmares in court, and solitary confinement, and final escape to a cherished life of hope. These graphic elements I would like to emphasize have a huge effect on the rhythm of Mary's poems. The rhythm of the graphics expresses how the poems flow based on the combination of stressed and unstressed syllables. The rhythm is also controlled by something called meter, which is a set foot or unit of stressed and unstressed syllables in a certain order, if you have ever read one of William Shakespeare's sonnets. Mr. Moderator, let me emphasize here that Mary Ngu's book uses art to depict true human suffering and connects it to the lowest depths of our daily lives. Mary Ngu's poetry also portrays emotions of hurt and betrayal, unrequited love, love and great suffering. Just putting these feelings into paper helped to unburden her mind and her heart offloading the grief she felt, if only for a moment. Let me also note here that many of the world's great poets wrote about loss and pain. For example, Shakespeare's sonnets spoke of love. Quote, "Shall I compare thee to a summer day?" And Emily Dickinson's poetry was about death. Because I could not stop for death, he blindly stopped for me. All contained great emotions and sadness that could be felt by the reader. Expressing emotions through the art of poetry can be very daunting. Poems will always be clear to the author. It is only when the reader understands the meaning that it can truly be called a poem. In conclusion, Mr. Moderator and great ladies and gentlemen, I wish to take the liberty to stress that writing poetry is a gift, a wonderful gift. Being able to illuminate words so that they form a picture, express a feeling, and share a thought in so few words. Mary Ngwebong Ngu excels in this art. She may become a William Shakespeare or Chaucer or whoever tomorrow. Writing poetry can be a healing process, putting down on paper all the emotions locked up inside one's head, a way of remembering and a way of reliving. Poetry has many forms from free verse to sonnet, but all poems tell a story of words, words wrapped around each other in such a way that they flow together, locked in meaning. The book Escape from Prison is my favorite, and every time I read these poems, I cannot help but smile or weep deeply. See if you smile and weep deeply like me. Lastly, having the ability to express one's feelings through poetry is an exceptional gift, as I said, and a gift that Mary Ngwebong has embraced and turned into whatever I never knew she could ever be, because I took her for somebody else. Now she is already emerged as a wonderful poet. So I would say, watch out for Mary Ngwebong's poetry. Her poems give hope and passion, and also help especially those who don't express their feelings by talking, writing. Indeed, Mary's gallery of poetic art aims to depict the true depth of human suffering and to connect it to our daily lives. Mr. Moderator and beloved ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this opportunity. I yield the floor. Bye-bye.
Let's give a round of applause to our speaker, our keynote speaker this afternoon. Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you so much. That was quite a wonderful presentation.